Again, I asked a couple of days ago if people had any questions on my Facebook page, and that I would answer some of the more interesting ones, or the ones that resonated with me. So here's another one. The questioner asked, how do you know if you've truly healed from your past? It's very simple. If you feel, when you think of the same scenario that used to upset you, if you think of the scenario that caused you the psychological disturbance or trauma or imbalance, and you look upon it with such a love and appreciation in your heart, or at the very least a neutrality where it doesn't really occur to you anymore. Maybe every once in a while you think about it, but it feels at least neutral. If it feels at least neutral, you've made really good progress. Now, if you can feel 100% complete, nothing but love and bliss and joy and appreciation for the very thing that used to upset you and trigger you and devastate you, obviously then you know for sure that you've healed from those past perspectives. Now understand that healing does not occur in the past. It's not like you're fixing a circumstance so much as it is that you're realigning your perspective of what occurred. So healing is simply the process of seeing something from a limited point of view first, to where it hurts because that perspective is in disagreement with the way that your higher self sees that scenario and understands it to be. Your higher self understands that that scenario came into being in a certain way for a certain purpose by law of attraction, and by wanting to show you more of your theme, more of your nature, and inspire you in a direction that is purposeful to you and all other beings that you're going to be in touch with in your life. So you might have a limited perspective on these scenarios that you call into being. You might have limited definitions of that. You might call them negative, you might call them threatening, you might call them painful, you might call them unfair, etc. But then when you grow up mentally and spiritually, and you start to actually match more and more of the frequency of your true self, you will see that you start to see that same scenario from a completely different light, and so you will start to increasingly feel better and better and better of that same scenario when you think of it. So when you get to the point where you think of that scenario and all you experience is love for all parties involved, for all beings involved in that scenario, including yourself, total forgiveness, total like seeing the purpose behind it all, the perfection, the complexity, the sublime beauty beyond all the mess, and the innocence where everyone came from, even if they were perpetrators. If you can really experience overwhelming love for the things that used to upset you, you know for sure you've healed 100%. And even more, you've not only healed and balanced it out, you've used it as a catapult. You've used it as a trampoline. You've used the catalyst efficiently to where you're now jumping up into spirit even more, thanks to that experience that you've attracted into your life for exactly this purpose. So the faster you heal yourself, the more efficiently you're actually utilizing the reason behind why you attracted and created that circumstance to begin with. The longer you keep complaining about it and seeing it from a limited point of view and insist that you're the victim of the situation instead of the creator and the caller of it into action, into being, the longer you will actually miss the very point of why you attracted it in the first place to begin with. So come to love, forgive yourself and all others, because it's the best thing you can do for yourself. Use it as a trampoline into spirit, into greater vision, into greater love and compassion and wisdom.